Hello, guys. It's August 14, 2020, and you're watching me, Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, here in the Awesome 10X Live Show. We're going to discuss the global market updates. It's already a Friday, so let's discuss what's happening in the markets. Yesterday, I'd like to share a lot of things happen. Actually, a lot of green things have been happening. And a few things to note. There are green things happening and there are also red things happening. In the red days, you might not believe it, but actually in Hong Kong, there is a democracy fighting Jimmy Lai who was arrested on charges against the national security legislation. And that sounds like the evil Chinese CCP Communist Party. So you could see that what happened in this company is that Next Digital went from 12 cents to as high as $2 to 1.8 Hong Kong, and then fell down back to as low as 38 cents, only to rise today. So yes, that was a 10x move in 2 days, and also a 90% move in also 2 days. So I know this is a bit of a risk, but I think that there are enough traders that's actually you know this is, I think, a penny stock play. So definitely we are just sharing to you that there are people who are trading 282 Next Digital because of that. Now, there's also this news that I want to share. So Apple actually removed Fortnite from the App Store. And so Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games, has been also discussing on the monopoly of Apple, taking a 30% cut for the App Store. Now, I'll note that this is also Facebook. A few weeks ago, just a week ago, Facebook Gaming finally cleared the Apple hurdle, arriving in the App Store. And actually, you could see that in this article, Sheryl Sandberg, the Facebook vice president, didn't, of course, call Apple a monopolistic bitch. But in a way, they gave Facebook a hard time because, of course, Facebook Gaming is a huge competition for the Apple's arcade store. So Apple is rejecting Facebook Gaming app for at least the fifth time. The sixth time they actually approved Facebook Gaming. So can you imagine if you were trying to sell your Facebook games and getting repeatedly denied in the App Store? So you know that there is a monopolistic practice on Apple's front. Now, of course, Apple was sharing last night that they had a bundle promo to deflect all the negativity on Apple. In the news today, there is what you call the Apple Bundle One. Let's read this together. The Apple is launching similar to the Amazon equivalent of the Amazon Prime. So the bundle option. So this is a way for Apple to tell its users, its 1 billion users, that you can now pay Apple a significant price. Take note that Amazon was the very first who did this subscription fee through Amazon Prime. And while this screen is loading, I'll show to you on my on my profile. Okay, let's read it together. Apple is launching the Apple One subscription, bundling together all of its services. Apple wants to launch the Apple One from Apple Music to Apple Arcade under one payment, of course, through the Apple Pay. It would include all new services, even such as fitness, and this is getting a blow to Peloton and Lululemon. Apple has been rumored to work on new tools, allowing people to access workout tutorials from their iPhone and Apple Watch. Doing so encourages people to subscribe to more of its services. Apple has been forced to delay their iPhone launch due to the rising coronavirus lockdowns. Apple is actually getting also some flack in China, 35% decline, after, of course, this US-China tension brought about by Trump. So Apple and Disney are warning Trump against blocking WeChat in a call. To be sure, Apple and Disney have a lot of Chinese fans, and they don't want to anger their Chinese fans, which could eventually be a boycott of Apple and Disney if this escalates. So the US-China tension is going to hurt not just Chinese companies, but American companies as well, who are, of course, a global company which has a lot of Chinese fans. Bloomberg is suggesting that there will be a number of different bundles available to subscribers. And Amazon, of course, is the very first to do this Prime subscription. And it became a copycat for Walmart to do the same, Walmart Prime. And now Apple is doing the same thing. So this is all a copycat move. I'd say that from a perspective of charts, let's take a look on your Apple chart. I'd say that Apple at 462 has done all its cards right. They've done everything that's just possible for them to be dominant. But at 2 trillion market cap right now, it might be harder to sustain that ascent. Um, this is the third day now that I'm saying that I am quite a little bit cautious on the US market. This is my third day saying that although I have plenty of longs in the market, I'm gonna be cautious in promoting these great companies because they might have leeway to fall 15 to 10% down, even with those great news. So let's pay homage, of course, to the very first guy who made this Prime, Amazon Prime. So the Amazon Prime was actually the creation of your Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos said this was in the last in 1997. They were saying that we do not compete. We kill the competition. We do decades, not days. We will chip away their margin 1% day by day until these amateurs die. So that CEO, of course, is Jeff Bezos. I'm gonna show to you a great podcast about what he did for from 1997 to 2003, of course, and it is very worth repeating again and again to all the viewers out there. This is something that Jeff Bezos, of course, inspired all of us to be in our investments. Decades, not days. Invest in companies who are winning, especially if you think that this is a decade-long championship. Use those daily fluctuations to understand the future. More so relish that because winners come from small, strong edges to a very monopolistic edge. In fact, I could recall that there was a guy in Amazon's team that were saying that why should we do the $79 shipping when we can charge $10 for every box and for every shipping. And Amazon, of course, said that we should focus on our customers, and we are playing the long game, not the short term game. Sure, our quarters would be losses, but we are trying to change the behaviors of people, and that change can only happen if we are giving 2 day shipping. At that point in time, it was a 2 day shipping. Of course, now you could 1 day ship. So this is also an Amazon trait. He said that you do not fight competition by focusing on your competition. You fight your competition by focusing on your customers. We focus on customer experience so that everyone else will have nothing. Stay laser focused on the customer because this is the only path forward here. He said this in 1997, 1998, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. Even until now, he repeats the same ethos. It's always day one in Amazon and forever day one. And they always want to create that edge, and nobody can kill their moat. You could tell that the day Barnes and Noble would filed for bankruptcy eventually, it was actually the day when they actually said that Amazon was toast. Jeff Bezos annihilated everyone and did his Thanos infinity move. You can actually read the Forbes article when there were people who were second guessing Amazon's strategies. Of course, with the benefit of hindsight, we know that Amazon won over them. To be honest, we want to share Dracarys. So never provoke your giants. To be honest, that is also true for Taylor Swift. You provoke a giant, you unleash a beast. Taylor Swift just proved that she is the best in this artist decade for our years. 1989 has surpassed 2 billion streams on Spotify. This is Taylor Swift's third album to reach this milestone. She has, of course, 8 albums, and all of them are billions and billions and billions. So she is truly the Amazon artist, if you want to compare. Now, let us share the news. Okay, so news-wise, we have been seeing Chinese companies. Chinese companies are, of course, getting the wrath. And there are news articles that China data is falling. You've got the manufacturing, you've got all those GDP data all dropping like flies. So we had a sell recommendation on Chinese stocks, primarily because of the US-China tension. But really, when you have a fire when you have problems, you don't come to the fire. You go just eliminate the risk as much as you can. So although the US was convincingly up last night, and a lot of components are still up, I would say that still be careful out there. Let's take a look in your charts. Actually, last night there was a very strong move on our sports bets, because last night Penn National Gaming was upgraded by Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs was saying that even at $50, Penn National Gaming deserved the premium owing to the Barstool Sports. And I think it translated to strength for all the sports casino players, specifically GAN, GAN, which is what our pick was in the casino sports betting. So GAN, of course, is powering up FanDuel online software company. And as you could see here in our take a look in the charts. So, GAN Limited is, of course, an IPO this year. It was IPO'd $8.50. Right now, it's trading at about, so this was an IPO somewhere in May. So GAN went as high as 28. We rode the first move. We weren't able to get in fast. I wasn't able to study GAN when it initially got into the market. So I'll be very honest, we got in here at the pullback of 18. We got the 28 move, and then we entered again here at 19. And so far, we're still holding it. I think that the future of GAN Limited is strong. Gambling isn't really something that is a one-day move. GAN, of course, went up yesterday because it also participated in several investor conferences. So GAN participated in Canaccord Genuity, the 40th annual growth conference, where they explained all their growth opportunities. Motley Fool did a great summary of what happened in that conference. GAN Limited essentially just shared the reason why they were a leader or why they were a winner. They had launched one already, and they have 10 more launches lined up for 2020. The company executed just 4 launches in 2019. So from 4 to 10 launches, the pandemic pushed all the people online, and GAN's future is getting better because they, of course, are helping all the casinos go online. Take note that this is a tech company. They even call themselves the Shopify of gambling because they are an enabler. GAN is an enabler for every casino, brick and mortar, to become present online. So growth is there for GAN. There's a lot of money spending anyway, and that money would still be an online customer base. So take note that long-term investors might have to check these GAN. They will increase in the next few years. So this is something that you pay attention for. GAN Limited, if you don't know who GAN is, probably take note and study it already. This is software as a service solution for online casino gaming and online sports betting applications. GAN is an awesome 10x pick. I'm happy to say that I am a proud shareholder of GAN, and I will continue to hold my GAN for the next few years to come. If it drops, it drops. We can't always be correct in the future. Yesterday, we've got our fun utility vehicle rising kaboom. So I didn't want to reveal this yet, but anyway, we already got in. So we got in at about 650, 660. I opined that at 660 all the way to $5, that it was an entry point. I wasn't able to study Arcemoto very early on. To be honest, I am so if I had earlier studied this, this was a great move from about 180, from about, even if I enter just $2, I don't even have to buy at the low. $2 to $8 is a 400% move. The beautiful thing about FUV, of course, is they are, I believe, the next big thing to deliveries. So they announced Deliverator pilot with Wahlburgers Key West. This is an awesome 10x pick. If you can buy this near 6 or 650, I think that even at $5, that is a great opportunity for you to buy. Thanks to Wahlburgers, I was able to check this out. Mark Wahlberg's brother is Chef Paul Wahlberg. They are piloting Wahlburgers Key West. So see, they are already also in partnership with Monroe and Associates. Fun Utility Vehicle is a company that I think would impress you, and so put it on your awesome 10x picks. Where was I also happy? So I was up on GAN Limited last night. I was also up on RC Moto. Not to say that I'm always up. I had a few winners that were actually prior losers that went up yesterday. So I have, of course, Velodyne LiDAR. Take note that this company is a SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Vehicle. We continue to buy. We actually bought somewhere here at about yeah, I bought somewhere here at the 18. It went to 24. I didn't sell. Continued to held it all the way. It went to about 13. Just held on. Some of us got in at 16. Good for them. And now it's up 18. So really, it was a roller coaster ride. So it went up, went down. But I think that this one goes anyway to 24. And even further, I think Velodyne LiDAR has a great huge secular trend story. So for those who aren't believers of GRAF, I think one day you will believe. I'm not really sure what happened with SHLL. Of course, Tortoise Acquisition Corp is gonna be a SPAC for this is a SPAC for a company in the electric vehicle space, which is a Hyperfilion, is it? I haven't studied this company yet. So I think I'd have to study this Hilion. Supposedly, it is a electric truck. So I'm not too familiar. Honestly speaking, amongst the winners last night, this is a company that I don't have, and I might have to study this, SHLL. So I didn't study this, but truly, as you know, I am a believer on electric vehicles, and I'm happy to say that our electric plays truly went up further. Okay, so Tesla went up due to the cosmetic makeup of stock splits. It's now trading at 1621. I do think that that should be sold. Now, everyone will hate me. Why am I going to sell a winner? Because I really think that the market is toppish, and I think that rally 16, 1800 might not be a safe place. So you can hate me for this, but yes, I have been trimming. Okay, so trimming. Yes, some electric vehicles we've been trimming. So sold some BYDs, sold some 175s. These are some winners that I believe in the electric vehicle market, but I think should be sold. Of course, if you are a real battery supply believer, you are aware, of course, of LG Chem. LG Chem already went 300% up from 24,000 to 72,000. This is also, I think, a sell. So you could see that the electric vehicles as a sector, despite all the hype out there, I would warn all the Tesla fans that maybe at 1690, 1700, I could be wrong. Maybe you are a believer that there is a no sell rating for a company you love, but this is just a short-term tactical sell for me, okay? So I'm not really giving a sell reco for the future ahead. But you could see that e-commerce continues to languish. So I would continue to wait for Shopify to go down near 900 for an entry. Although the financials, I don't really like financials. So we are seeing that XLK, I think, is a bit toppish, and some of the financials are getting bottoming out. I don't like the sector, so I don't plan to enter. If I sell a technology firm, I'm just going to be in cash. Farfetch yesterday reported great numbers, 5% up. But as you could see, I am in a place where I think there is more risk than reward. So Smile Direct Club fell big, 15%, a disappointing earnings call. There was a bad earnings. Of course, there is a ongoing SEC probe. IGE is down 20%. IGE is not ever in my radar. I never believed in them, actually. So the Netflix quote-unquote of China, I don't believe in them. So even when there was a rally here, I don't believe in them. However, I think that IGE, because Baidu owns them, was a risk. And so actually, I have been selling my Baidu, and thank goodness, because today, even if Baidu had a great earnings report, Baidu is opening at 116. So definitely, I am saying caution on all the Chinese names. I don't care if you're a believer of Alibaba. Fundamentally, yes, I would agree with you, but the charts say otherwise. Pinduoduo also is a sell. I will recommend re-rate, and resell all of these Chinese names. Chinese stocks would have a killing. I think, sure, they would have great earnings, but I would be careful about these Chinese names. And I wouldn't bother if it doesn't go down. The truth is, I don't care if they go up or they go down. Take note that what happened last night, Youtao had great numbers, but kaboom, it dropped 6%, 7%. Youtao had what, 200% growth? Why is it falling? It's because it was up 300% in the first place. So from about 15 to 45, it's now dropping to about 36. I try to enter this at $30 or 35, anywhere near the 35 mark. I'm a buyer, 35 to 30. So I like these companies, but I am not gonna pay a premium. Not yet. I do like online education, don't get me wrong. Payments, I still believe in payments. I believe in a lot of solar firms. And I'm thankful that because of the Tesla move, of course, First Solar went up. However, I will still reiterate that 77 seems to be a sell for First Solar. I want to buy it at 63. So the rallies last night was a selling opportunity for me. First Solar, Canadian Solar. I believe in these companies. Canadian Solar is the firm that I didn't want to sell, mainly because it wasn't 100% up yet. So 12 to 26. But a lot of companies in the solar firms have gone 300% up. So I don't think Canadian Solar truly had all the love in the world. So I would wait for my Canadian Solar to go higher. Enphase continued higher at 75, but I would argue that there might be a lot of selling front already for Enphase and Solar Edge. So just because they were up last night, this is still a good move. I am quite cautious of their futures ahead of them. Nintendo continues higher, but I will be a little bit careful. I want it. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm actually happy about their moves, but I will be a bit careful of what's happening in the world out there. SoftBank is a company I truly believe in. Should SoftBank go down, I'll be buying in that. 9984 JP, that is your SoftBank group. Notice that if it goes 58, 5% or 10% down, I will be willing to buy. So SoftBank is also listed in USA as SFTBY 30 to 27. I am a buyer. I am a buyer on some names and I am also a seller on some names. So I am quite neutral in terms of positioning in the market. I am not too bullish, but I am not too bearish. On the names that I am quite going to look at on the bullish front, of course, Intel, I am bearish. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. Why would I talk about names that I'm bearish at? Doesn't matter, right? So superb thread, Blue City. So I'd pay him $1 just for this. Agree. So Alex Hack at Bad Pack did a really good summary of Blue City. So Blue City, of course, is an IPO. This is a pink economy play. Blue City, you've got live streaming, family planning, public interest initiative, social networking, health related. So Blue is a Chinese online LGBTQ community dating platform. You might need to compare Blue with Match Group, with Momo. So policeman Mr. Baoli Ma was the first was the leader of this. He founded one of the biggest LGBTQ forums in year 2000. He resigned in 2011 and he found Blood. In his story, he said from 1 to 49 million. This is the story of 2000 to 2020. It's a 2-decade history. He is a company that started with just 34 employees, and now, of course, think Blue City has, I don't know. Let's take a look how many employees they now have. Let's search it. Blue City employees. From 34 employees, they now have how many employees? 58? That's too little. How many employees does this have? You should have been more 200. So very small, still small. 34 employees to 200. Maybe they'd have 1,000 employees someday. So I like the future of this company. Let's read about the story. You can read the story. It's very intriguing. But this is one of the most important things about them. They are a far number one leader in the LGBT community in terms of monthly average users. They're the dominant leader in China. In 2019, their average DAUs is 600 or 700% greater than the next largest player. So eventually, whoever is their number 2 and number 3, they can just eat out that competition and kill it in the first place. They're also able to successfully replicate and exponentially grow their model in India, Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. In their view, the LGBT community will grow further and further, with about 500 million in a total addressable market. So the online LGBT, their growth story is they believe they can grow 17, 18% from about $100 million to as high as $600 million. They are professing that they are a growth play. As you could see, this business can grow not just from the live streaming arm, but also on the social networking arm. So you could read the analysis by what's the name? Alex Hack Badpack. So Chinese firms do monetize from live streaming. That is the reason why we like YY, Bilibili. A lot of the revenues come from live streaming services. You could see that the revenues were 90% through live streaming, 87% of our total revenue. So you could read all of these numbers for yourself. Take a look at the chart of Blue City, BLCT. This is an IPO that I am going to take a look at in the next coming days. So just because I am afraid of the Chinese tension of US and America, US and China, doesn't mean that I'm scared of everything that's happening in the world. I think that this one is worth a tiny peak, 14.70 all the way to this $13.50. I think the risk is 10%, but the reward may be 100%. When I like a skewed to the bulls risk reward ratio, I would play that very much. 9 times out of 10 times, I would play these types of trades. It might start as a trade for me, but it could be an investment for me eventually. So I do play 3% if I am not too sure, or just 1.5% of my portfolio. And if I grew confident in the company, I can go as high as 10% of my portfolio, even as high as 15% if I truly like the company. So let's take a look right now in the commentaries. Aside from eToro, which broker are you recommending? Actually, I'm not using eToro. I am using Interactive Brokers. So LQDT, yeah, actually it has been creeping up. It is 50%. It is a good play. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, LQDT is a play on the bankruptcies of the economy. So as you know, a lot of US firms are already going bankrupt. It is a sad story that the big man is making all the money and the small businesses are all dying, but that is the reality. So Amazon has been doing well, but a lot of these small businesses are closing shops. Now, Liquidity had a gap up here. I think it was the earnings call that truly, yeah, so that was the earnings call, no? Let's take a look at Liquidity's earnings. For those who are not aware, Liquidity makes money as a cyclical play for helping all these bankrupt companies salvage whatever they can from their closed shops. So LQDT has a lot of insider buying. Liquidity is they have these e-commerce marketplaces. It's called liquidation.com, govdeals.com, Network International, Go Industry, DoveBid, Iron Direct, Machinio, and Secondipity.com. So this company, basically, it's a Death Note Reaper. So the Dark Grim Reaper. So they make money when everyone is losing money. They help the bankrupt people get some savings, no. So let's read their earnings front. Liquidity is this is a perfect play for the recession, the ongoing depression. So we have seen that Liquidity is a play because in the 2008 financial crisis, they have been doing well. The business model speaks for itself. Liquidity, let's read it now. The earnings call of Liquidity. Okay, let's read the earnings together. I have to say thank you to a client. We'll give him a nickname. Nickname. What would that? Okay, his initials are JC. So JC gave me this pick actually and told me to study. And he came out really correct here. Was up 50%, right? So about 550 to from $5 now it's 750, 50%. So I was weak hands, to be honest. There was at $5 here. The problem with me is I got in here at about 6. It rallied to 7, then went down to 6 and went to 5. So I was a bit shaken out. I didn't re-enter, but he kept his. I think he kept his stake. And so from 560 now it's 750. I didn't hold. My mistake. But he was right. 650 or 6, I try to re-enter this if I can. This is a play on, as you know, bankrupt companies. So read it together. This quarterly report tells us that the shares are rising on earnings call. Where was the earnings? Tops Q3 earnings and revenue estimates. They they easily beat the quarterly earnings. People were estimating a loss of 15 cents. They earned 5 cents per share. Earnings surprise of 133%. Liquidity is surpassing all the EPS estimates for the last 2 years, two times, last 2 quarters. So this one, you buy it. If you can enter at about 650, any drops or even at 7, it's a buy. So the trend is really your friend. So I think liquidity would go higher in the next few years. Give it actually it traded as high as 64. Take note that during the crisis, liquidity was making so much money. From 2008 depression, 2009 to 2011. Take note that this company went somewhere from about year 2008, it traded at 8 to 12 to about as low as 5, then went to 64. So it is a 10x mover in our view. Awesome 10x liquidity services. So can $5 go to $50? I am not gonna speculate, but it looks like this company is in the right place at the right time. Any thoughts on IRO? I didn't study this one. So actually, I am very bad with my SPACs. I only studied FMCI and GRAF. I will put the study on IRO and Shell, SHLL. I think the money is doing well on the SPACs, no? IRO Inc. Let's put it on our buy list. Not yet on our buy list, watch list. I haven't studied it. I would tell you that I am studying an agriculture company, but I will not reveal it yet. I hope that there was a really great company that did great earnings last night, something in the realm of agriculture. I'd study it. I'd study great earnings surprises. I don't care if it was up 40%, 50%. If it is something that would go 100 to 200%, those are the companies that I'd study. So I haven't studied your suggestions. People ask me to study IRO, Shell, apps, right? APPS and TOEI animation. It's in my watch list now. I haven't studied each of one of them, but it's in my watch list. So there, fun utility. So there, I shared a lot like fun utility vehicle, GAN, liquidity, GRAF. Those are names that we already own. Or even if they fall, we'd probably buy it. So we aren't people who likes to buy and sell. The reality is we do love to buy and hold. So there, that's why we look for 1,000% moves. So any 10% crashes or 20% crashes aren't really a problem for us. Just diversify and always remember decades, not days. Try to use any fluctuation and have cash for the purpose of any drops in the future. That's it. Thank you very much. And thank you for following Awesome 10X channel. Bye-bye.